Welcome back, fellow enemies of the fire. We are here to, yet again, try and dissect all of the ills of the world with the Chicago. No, in all seriousness, man, I wanted to have another quick chat before we move on. We are at the midway point of the season for our team, right? And we sit at a very comfortable 14th place out of 15 in the East. And we don't have a game for like 2 weeks. It's just like we got to take a breath and take stock. Now, DPG and myself are both season ticket holders. James, who will be back next week, is not anymore, actually. So I want to ask you, we have talked about why we got in type of thing and like the moment that got you interested in the section and, buying season tickets. How do you feel now? Like you don't come to every game, right? You have season tickets and you don't come to every game anymore. Like, so how are you feeling right now? There's a lot of calls for, like, Bradley Wright Phillips called us out and was like, why aren't they protesting? Why do they even care?
I honestly, I'm not sure why they're not protesting. I remember during the Andrew Hoffman era that there was a lot of protests.
There was.
Uh, there was a lot of protests, and now it's kind of suspiciously been quiet from the supporter section. Like I haven't seen them pull out a Heights out or Klopa's out sign or anything. And it's like, but then you kind of look a little deeper and you kind of realize that some of these supporter groups, I mean, it almost sometimes I get the vibe that they work hand in hand with the front office. Like I guess if they pissed off the front office, you know, that's like a recipe for disaster. It's just me.
May I interject for a second? When you say these sorts of things, I think about people who claim there's crisis actors, right? Like I sit in the section, ain't nobody talking to me, bro.
But no, but think about it. Think about it.
Ain't nobody coming up to me like, yo, here's a 50. Just say Shaqiri's good.
The thing is that back in the Andrew Hoffman era, like supporter groups will actually do stuff to piss off the front office.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, but they're not doing that now anymore.
I mean, it's not. I would say this personally. We came into this season with some hope that things had turned around, and every human on the planet already knows the problem. And already knew the problem the day before we find out that these two guys got rehired for 3 years. So we all already knew. We all already said Heights out.
Yep.
And right now you just sound crazy. You sound like a 2020 it was fixed. Like you just sound insane at this point, dude. Like what do you even do? You like Klopas lost. We didn't win a game in 9 games. And Klopas was never once in the hot seat. So, like, why would you do anything at that point? Like,
it's like ownership doesn't care. You look at serious teams, like you look at your Atlantas.
Yeah, who just fired a coach today? Atlanta.
Exactly. That's because they want to win. They want to get things going. Chicago Fire does not want to get anything going. It feels
you
like
don't think Joe wants to win. I firmly believe he wants to win.
You know what? If he wants to win, he clearly doesn't know how to win.
Exactly. He has no idea.
Clearly, he has no idea what he's doing. I'm guessing he's being handheld by Heights. Like Heights is holding his hand.
Yeah, it's Brian Schmetzer could hold his hand too. But
yeah,
but
you know what? Ownership is not ambitious. It feels like they're lazy because they're just doing the same moves over and over again.
Have you reached any kind of a last straw with your tickets or with going to games or?
I am getting to that point. Now this month I have a whole month to think about what I'm gonna do. Like this is me as a season.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I do want to mention this. So you between last year this time, or like when you renewed, and this renewal, you've had a second child now, correct? Or did
Mhm.
that happen earlier?
No, that happened last year
Yeah.
in October.
So now you have 2 kids to think about on top of like how much are you going to pay for tickets for a crappy soccer team?
Yeah, exactly. Like I rather, it's gonna come down to whether I want to support a team that doesn't want to improve, doesn't care to improve, or would I rather spend that money on a family trip, or you know take my kid out to a couple of baseball games next year or something like that. It's it's gotten to a point where it's hard to support this team, and it's it's usually when people say why you support this team, it's kind of becoming more and more evident why I should not be supporting this team. Uh, you hear stories about people having like mental breakdowns and mental issues and like needing to get away from certain
Right?
things to
Yeah,
kind
no,
of
I hear. Yeah, it's I mean, it could be that bad. I joke, but in your seats, you're not dancing around playing music, partying. You're watching bad soccer intently.
yeah.
So like it's worse. I can see why you're more mad about it.
Yeah, it's like I you kind of remind me how I was the first couple of years when I used to sit in section 8. Like I used to be all about the chanting and the whole let's help me carry the typo on the at section 8 at Toyota Park. Uh, but you know the, I like I said I just wanted to support this team as just a regular fan that cares about this team. But the thing is like there's teams that have bad stretches. This team has had over a decade of a bad stretch. Like it hasn't fixed itself. It hasn't learned from itself. It's it's like ownership is oblivious to what's going on. Like they rather pretend like everything's all sunshine and rainbow, but in reality, it's like dude, we're like second to last on the East. We're literally repeating everything we've been doing for the past 4 or 5 years, and even longer.
It's insane. Everything has changed, but yet nothing has changed, like at all. In a league of constant change, and it's just yeah. So it's tough, right? Why do you support the team? I personally
Yeah,
like. I know there's been probably not the right word, accusations thrown at people in the section that they're just like, well, it's a party, screw it. Like, oh, I get to see all my friends type of thing. Which I have very
mhm.
few friends in the section. I'm new this year, but like for me personally, I guess to explain myself a touch here about why I would still buy tickets, and I'm going to re up next year. I haven't even looked to see if they went up in price because I know most people's did. I'm just going to
Yeah,
re up because the fact of the matter is, like, when they say who's going to protest this team, I was there in 2013 and 14 and 15 and 18 and 19, like ready for the season, watch the first 10 games and then just like, oh, I forgot the game was on today, and like not buying shit. Like there's a reason why
hmm
there's not an entire room full of scarves. You know what I
yep,
mean? Like I would not buy stuff. I would not buy like
yep.
I wouldn't make sure I was home to watch the game. And that's the thing too, man. Like I grew up where I first found out and fell in love with the team and got this scarf. Good God, it's so hard to do in a mirrored image. This one right here was in Peoria. You know what I mean? Like I didn't live by the stadium, so I didn't come to a game. Like I saw them in the Open Cup in Peoria, but I didn't come to a game until 2009, right? And I moved to the Chicago area in 2010. And I was like, all right, I know we're going to go through a little bit of a patch. So I'll wait a couple years and I'll buy season tickets. I'll get in on an exciting year. I have waited all the way until this season, from 2010 until 2024, to buy season tickets to this team. Until this year, even before, like, I'm telling you, I got season tickets before we re signed Heights and Klopas. So there was no Hugo hype. There was no Kellen Acosta. There was no hope, right? And I still got tickets because I wanted to go to games. Now I went to games throughout that whole time, but not like there was times I was like, I am not paying for anything for this team. And I should be like that now, but honestly, I'm an adult. I want to go to the games. I want to have a good time. I want to just have, I guess I'm the problem. I'm there just to have a good time and party. I'd like for the team to do better.
You're typical molester, man. You're a typical molester.
I mean, I was way more, I guess
you probably clap for a draw.
Depends on the draw. Depends on the draw. Depends on the draw.
You're probably those people. You're probably those people that claps when the plane lands.
No, dude, don't get it twisted. I be booing people constantly. Anytime you hear anybody reference the referee likes Nickelback, that's this fool right here. But like
you, I can hear it from my side.
I be booing Gaston Jimenez the way we booed Ricky Pugh.
God.
You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. I'm not Don out here.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing, and this is why it's like it's like 2017 was like a tease, and like it was such a different vibe, man. It's like the team was winning.
Can I tell you? Can I tell you I was in such protest mode still in 2017 that I was hating on that team. I was so like, you got Arturo Alvarez up there. I was such a Arturo Alvarez hater. I couldn't even enjoy the fact he had his career year because I knew it was fake. Yeah. And then like by the All-Star break, they plummeted.
Yeah. At least the game was half a season of a really good season.
They did. There was some fun games. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I had fun.
And there was such a different vibe because I remember this stadium was selling out. Holy crap! Who would have thought Toyota Park will sell out? There was standing room only. I remember getting a text message at least 3 or 4 times saying, "Oh, by the way, tickets are sold out, standing room only." And it was such a different vibe. It wasn't hard to bring people to the game.
No,
like the Fire were winning.
There was a time where Jeff Crandall sent me free tickets one time because he was like, "Who's got the best reason to get free tickets?" And I was like, "Well, last season I took 15 different people to their first Fire game." You know what I mean? Like I would get people at work to go. Like this was, like I said, I moved to the area in 2010. We were still decent. And then there was like 2 years of like, we suck, but like we're the Fire. We're going to be good again. Right. And then
no,
because 2012, you talk about 2017, a lot of people do, and I'm gonna probably catch hell for this, but like I don't count 2012 and 2017 as good teams. Like there's so many teams make the playoffs in MLS. I don't feel like every one of them is a good team, and like honestly, so that means the last time we had a good team was 2009. That's
if we were
bonkers.
We were talking about an all around good team, yeah.
Yeah, an all around good team.
I think 2013 is when we had like Mike McGee. Like that was like the highlight of that season. It was like
we still missed the playoffs.
He was MVP. The playoffs, but oh my god!
Do you remember? Do you know what the best part about that was? He scored a hat trick in the first game of the season against us in LA.
Yeah. Yep. And he comes back, and I remember watching him play against like. In the Open Cup, I think I brought my cousin there. We were all hyped up. We were like, "Oh, Magic Mike!" Because dude, he was scoring like crazy in the Open Cup. I think we were playing Orlando City, and this was back before they joined MLS. It was like still like USL Orlando City.
Oh yeah.
And like we won like 5-1, bro. It was like a crazy game. It was a fun game.
Oh my God. See, you know what else people don't talk about 2017 though? Can I remember we went to Cincinnati and in front of 30,000 fans lost to a third division team? Anyway, continue.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's at this point I really got to think about what I want to do. Because it's getting hard to support this team, and it's like if this team was winning, it would be a no-brainer. I'll be like, yeah, sign me up again. I would actually make the effort to go to every game if this team was winning. But now it's like, man, do I really want to drive just to see them lose? Do I really want to, spend my hard-earned money on gasoline to go see them lose? Do I really want to put my kid through that? Do I really want him to watch a game where he's not going to be into because the other team is winning. So I mean, I don't know. I
You know
got to
what?
think about
You
this.
introduced the poison pill for me. Like if they like I said, I'm gonna renew no matter what, except if they tell me they're moving to Toyota Park next season. I am not. I'm going to tell you one right here, right now. FC Neo Tokyo has one declaration that you will hear. I will never, ever again in my life get behind the wheel and drive to watch a terrible soccer team. Never again.
At Toyota Park
I mean,
or in
I'm
general.
taking an Uber to the one game I'm going to this year. Oh, you know what? Let's
I
bring that up. Are you going to Leagues Cup? Because here's where I'm having trouble, okay? This is where I'm having trouble. I want Leagues Cup to die a slow, horrific, nonsensical, just horrific, get the
Yep.
hell out of here death. Okay?
Yep.
But I haven't been to Toyota Park in so long, and like we're playing Toluca. When's the next time I'm gonna see a fucking Mexican team? You know,
Honestly, just I mean, you want to go to Toyota Park? You just wait till September. We got 2 games there.
one
You
of
know.
those. You know what's funny? One of those I've traded. I'm gonna trade in because I'm actually agreed to go to a game with my buddy in St. Louis. Like I would
So
never do that. I would
yeah,
never do that
because
if we were in the fucking hunt for the playoffs.
so you basically traded that to go eat some bad pizza and their whatever fake cheese or whatever they put on it, some weird cheese, and it's
I'm
yeah,
going.
you pretty much went to a dump.
I already been there. I went to the Fire game there. I went there last season with him, man. I mean, I'm a good
And you eat
friend.
frozen raviolis.
I don't eat none of that shit. They French fries, dog. If I didn't bring it to St. Louis, I eat French fries. There's not a thing within a mile radius of where we stay that I can actually ingest as a vegan. French fries.
French fries. That's the only thing you could do. That's basically it, man. And you better hope that they don't make it in like animal fat.
I mean, at that point, it's just like, man, ignorance
Yeah,
is best. But
I
yeah,
mean,
that's where
if
the
you start
as
saying,
best as you possibly can in the definition of vegan jumps in. But anyway,
yeah, when those fries taste really good with beef tallow, you're like, man, these fries are awesome.
what what would you rather them be at Toyota Park or Soldier Field? I know my answer because I
No,
love Soldier
honestly,
Field.
I like Soldier Field. I'd rather be at Soldier Field.
Yeah, agreed,
I wish the
100%.
food was a little better, but
I'm getting pretty sick of pretzels.
Jesus, bro. Like I think you want a chicken tender box. It's like $17, man.
This is brutal. It's absolutely
Yeah,
brutal, man. Who's spending that?
man,
Actually, my
bro.
buddy bought one of those. He spent $17 on that.
$17, bro,
Oh
on
my
on 3 or 4
god.
tenders with fries.
Oh, that's brutal. Oh my god.
And
Okay.
you know what's the worst part? They didn't have regular barbecue sauce.
What do you mean by regular?
They didn't have like the regular barbecue sauce. They had honey mustard. They
Okay.
had ranch. They
Okay.
had something called the boom boom sauce, whatever that is,
No, thank you.
and some other random flavor. But they didn't have just a regular like they had something called hickory barbecue, and we're like, oh yeah, let's get some barbecue sauce. Nothing was coming out. We open it up, it's empty. $17. You can't even get regular barbecue sauce.
Okay, I actually, you know what? You brought that around at the end. I agree with you. I think that's bullshit. Actually, I totally I went from being like, what the hell is this dude talking about, to being like, no, yeah, no, we need to right the team. Anyway, anyway, man, is there anything else you can think of about this team? Like, I want the coach fired. I want.
I want the GM fired. You know what? At this point, man, I'll even take new ownership, man. If this man wants to sit on his hands at this point, I'll just give me new ownership. I don't want to be part of this anymore. Just give me new ownership. I don't want anything to do with this guy not doing
Be
anything.
careful what you wish for, brother. Like, you know. Be careful what you wish for. New ownership is
Man,
not always.
I'll take the I'll take the bullet, bro. It's honestly new ownership has worked out well for expansion teams, so why not us?
Okay, fair. Yeah, that's about it for the Chicago Fire. I don't feel like I necessarily had to defend myself about that, but I just hear so much about like we need to protest and you need to boycott, and it's just like, dude, I already bought the tickets, dude. What like I like going out and seeing a soccer game.
You don't want to be one of those idiots that go burns their like sports team jerseys.
Dude, I where were you? I boycotted for 15 years. Where were you?
I was an idiot.
Jumping
up and down in Section 8.
Don't be mad at me that I bought tickets this year. Like I boycotted for 15 years. I did my part. I did my time. Anyway, everybody, This has been Enemies of the Fire. We love you. From FCneoTokyo, DPG, and next week James will be here. We love you guys. Peace.
Take it easy.
Like, subscribe, comment, all that.
Calm down.
Sorry,
James.
I forgot. Yeah, he always what's his favorite one? Punt that like button. Night, everybody.
Good night.